At 12 years old, I became an orphan and was taken in by the Song family. The two Song brothers, Leo and Noah, fell for me instantly, becoming my sworn protectors. To repay their kindness, I gave up my own dreams to stay by their side. That is, until their childhood sweetheart returned from abroad. What does 10 years of companionship matter? You were only ever my replacement. Chloe flaunted the affection Leo and Noah showered upon her, her voice dripping with arrogant pride. But by then, I had already decided to leave them behind and finally chase my own destiny. When I vanished without a word, seeking a new life far away, whispers from my old home eventually reached me. Unable to find their precious Eva, the Song brothers had gone mad. Professor, about that teaching program you mentioned in the western provinces. I'd like to go. Is that so? That's wonderful news, Eva. Get your things in order. We leave this weekend. The moment I hung up, a message from Leo popped up on my screen. Eva, Noah, and I are working late tonight. Don't wait up for dinner. I simply replied, okay. My gaze drifted to the dining table, laden with dishes I had spent the entire afternoon preparing. A bitter, self-mocking smile touched my lips. Today was my birthday, a fact Leo and Noah had apparently forgotten. In previous years, they would compete to see who could be more enthusiastic, planning gifts weeks in advance and rushing home no matter how busy they were, just to be with me. A familiar pang of loneliness hit me. I opened my social media, only to be greeted by a post from Chloe, uploaded just 2 minutes prior. So much love from my two favorite guys, my heart is full. The accompanying photo was taken at a lavish seafood restaurant. In it, Leo was meticulously peeling a crab for her, while Noah placed a slice of sashimi on her plate. So, their overtime was a dinner date with Chloe. Later that night, Chloe herself showed up at the door, holding a takeout box. Eva, Leo, and Noah took me out for seafood tonight, she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. I figured you probably never had anything this nice, so I brought you some. I remained calm. Thank you, but I don't. Before I could finish, Chloe's hand suddenly went limp, and the entire box of food spilled across the floor. She let out a sharp cry, and as if on cue, Leo and Noah rushed in from the living room. Chloe, what's wrong? Her eyes instantly filled with tears, her voice a choked sob. It was my fault, I didn't hold it properly. Please don't blame Eva. Without asking a single question, Noah turned on me. Eva, Chloe was worried you were hungry and went out of her way to bring you food. How can you be so ungrateful? He didn't wait for my explanation, immediately turning to comfort Chloe. Don't be upset, Chloe. We'll go watch the stars from the rooftop. Chloe's tears vanished, replaced by a triumphant smile. Leo, who had been silent until now, looked at the mess on the floor, his brow furrowed in disapproval. He spoke to me in a cold, clipped tone. Clean this up. And think about what you've done. With that, the two brothers flanked Chloe like royal guards, escorting her away. Seeing the tender, doting smiles on their faces, I felt a dizzying sense of déjà vu. Once upon a time, they used to look at me that way. My mother had been a housekeeper for the Song family. When I was 12, she died in a car accident while saving Mrs. Song, the family matriarch. I was left an orphan with nowhere to go. To repay their debt to my mother, the Songs took me in. Their grandmother, Mrs. Song, treated me like her own flesh and blood. Her grandsons, Leo and Noah, took to me instantly, becoming my self-appointed guardians. At school, if anyone dared to bully me, they would be the first to step in. When a classmate learned of my background and taunted me for being a motherless stray, Leo and Noah beat him up and forced him to apologize to me in front of the entire school. At home, they competed to spoil me, forbidding me from doing chores or cooking. They saved the best of everything for me, treating me like a princess. They had promised me countless times, their voices earnest and full of devotion. Eva, we will protect you for the rest of our lives. We'll keep you happy and safe, and we'll never let you shed a single tear. For 10 years, their adoration was unwavering. It wasn't until 6 months ago, when their childhood friend Chloe returned from living abroad, that I understood the truth. All those years, I was nothing more than her stand-in. When Chloe wanted to stay over, they asked me to give up the sunny bedroom I had occupied for a decade. When Chloe wanted a swing set in the yard, they dug up the small garden I had lovingly cultivated for years. During a trip, because Chloe suddenly had a whim to see the snow in the north, they abandoned me alone in a small southern town. They believed every word she said, catered to her every desire. Just like tonight. I had done nothing, yet a few crocodile tears from Chloe were enough for them to place all the blame on me. They had even forgotten that I was allergic to seafood. Once, I had wanted to apply to a university in the western provinces. They had vehemently opposed it, saying they couldn't bear for me to be so far away. To keep them from being sad, I stayed. But now, it was clear they no longer needed me. My very presence had become an inconvenience. So, I chose to leave. I would chase my own dreams and lead the three of them to their perfect little world. The next day, I went to the university to finalize the paperwork for the teaching program. A few of my close friends organized a small farewell party for me. It was 10 o'clock at night when I returned to the Song residence. As I opened the door, I found Leo and Noah sitting on the living room sofa, their faces dark and stormy. "Where have you been?" Noah snapped, his voice sharp. "Why are you home so late?" "My classmates treated me to dinner," I answered truthfully. Noah sneered. "You seem to be having a good time. The three of us were starving here at home." "You didn't go out to eat?" I asked, genuinely curious. Lately, every time I cooked a meal, Chloe would have a sudden urge to eat out, and my efforts would end up in the trash. "Chloe suddenly craved your sweet and sour pork ribs. We waited all night for you, but you were out having fun by yourself." "Oh," I said flatly. "Do you still want them?" "I can make them now." When Chloe first moved in, she had praised my cooking. Soon after, she had the brothers fire the family chef and housekeeper. For the past 6 months, I had been responsible for all the cooking and cleaning. The Song family had saved me. I felt it was my duty to take care of them, even if they took my efforts for granted. "Don't pretend to be so virtuous. Chloe's already asleep." Noah shot me a glare. I bet Chloe was right. "You can't stand her, so you did this on purpose." "Eva, you've changed." Though Leo didn't join his brother in scolding me, his expression told me he agreed. The dam of suppressed grievances finally broke. Tears welled in my eyes. "Have I changed?" I choked out, "or have you? Have you cared about me at all these past few months? Have you taken a single bite of the food I painstakingly cooked?" "I'm allergic to seafood, you forgot. Yesterday was my birthday, and you forgot that too." I fled to my room, leaving them stunned into silence. A moment later, my professor called. "Eva, your flight is booked for Saturday afternoon." "Okay, I'll be there on time." I had just hung up when Leo's voice came from behind me. "Be where on time?" "A friend is visiting the city," I lied. "She asked me to pick her up from the airport." He didn't seem to suspect anything. He then produced a gift bag, a hint of embarrassment on his face. "Sorry, we were so busy yesterday we forgot. This is a late birthday present." Inside was a small, chic handbag. The same handbag I had seen in Chloe's trash can yesterday when I was cleaning her room. Noah looked remorseful too. "Eva, I was out of line earlier." I spoke without thinking. "Please don't be angry." I shook my head. "It's really okay. In a few days, I would be gone anyway." Just then, a flash of lightning illuminated the room, followed by a deafening crack of thunder. I flinched, my hand flying to my chest. The night my mother died had been a stormy one just like this, leaving me with a deep-seated phobia of thunderstorms. In the past, Leo and Noah would sit with me, holding me close. "Don't be afraid," they would whisper. "We'll be here for you, always, in place of your mom." Leo saw my face drain of color and was about to speak when Chloe appeared at the doorway, clad in her pajamas. She pouted, her voice trembling. "Leo, Noah, the thunder is so scary. I don't dare to sleep alone. Can you come stay with me?" The two brothers, who had been about to comfort me, immediately rushed to her side, their voices full of concern. Don't worry, Chloe, we're here. As they led her away, Chloe glanced back at me, a smug, victorious smile on her face. I was left alone to pull the covers over my head, plugging my ears and enduring the long, terrifying night by myself. The next day, as I was clearing out my closet, Chloe waltzed in without knocking, munching on an apple. She glanced around the small room. "This maid's room suits you quite well." It was true. After she took my bedroom, I had moved into the room my mother once occupied. When I didn't respond, she tossed the apple core at my feet. I looked at her, confused. She raised an eyebrow. "Well? Pick it up. Isn't that your job?" I didn't move. She kicked me hard in the knee. "You should learn your place. The daughter of a housekeeper, living off the Song family for years. Did you really start to think you were a princess?" she sneered. "You're just a pathetic orphan they took in out of pity. You're not even a proper adopted daughter. If my family hadn't moved abroad, a lowlife like you would never have even gotten close to Leo and Noah." I had seen her two-faced act before and couldn't be bothered to argue. But she was relentless. "You should be grateful your mother died, shouldn't you? Otherwise, how would you have ever had the chance to live such a good life?" The moment the words left her mouth, I slapped her across the face, hard. The sound cracked in the still air. She could insult me all she wanted, but she would not defile the memory of my mother. At that exact moment, Leo and Noah happened to be walking by. Leo rushed forward, pulling Chloe into his arms protectively. Noah, on the other hand, shoved me to the ground. My forehead hit the corner of the bed frame, and a painful lump immediately began to form. "Eva, you're going too far." Leo's face was dark with fury. "Chloe came here to help you celebrate your birthday, and you attack her?" Chloe sobbed into his chest. "Don't blame Eva. I accidentally dropped my apple and made her floor dirty." Her words only fueled Noah's anger. "And I actually apologized to you last night," he spat, his voice laced with disgust. "You don't deserve it. You're just jealous that we're nice to Chloe. She's always thinking of you, and you're always making things difficult for her. My brother and I must have been blind to ever think you were as kind and sensible as she is." Leo looked down at me, his expression one of profound disappointment. "Eva, you will apologize to Chloe today. Or else," he paused, his words dropping like stones. "The Song family will have no place for you." They left, taking Chloe with them, without a single glance back. The throbbing in my head was intense, and my heart ached, but somehow, I found myself laughing. What did 10 years of being together even mean? "You don't have to kick me out. I'm already leaving." I grabbed my already packed suitcase and walked out of the Song family home without a shred of reluctance. At the gate, I glanced into the yard. The brothers were pushing Chloe on the swing, trying their best to make her smile. "Goodbye, Leo. Goodbye, Noah. I hope you'll still be this happy when you find the parting gift I left for you." I took a 2-hour bus ride to the countryside. 2 years ago, the Song family's grandmother had fallen ill, and her health had been declining ever since. She had moved back to the old family estate with her butler, where the air was fresh and the environment peaceful. I had always planned to visit her before I left. She was overjoyed to see me, holding my hand and refusing to let go. After a while, she peered toward the door. "Why didn't Leo and Noah come with you? Usually, the 3 of us came to visit her together." "They've been busy lately," I said, not wanting her to worry. She didn't press the issue. I spent the afternoon chatting with her. When we talked about my mother, tears welled in her eyes. "It was your mother who saved this old woman's life," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I swore I would take good care of you." I held her thin, wrinkled hand, my voice trembling. "Grandma, thank you for always being so good to me." She had given me the warmth of a family. At dinner, I saw the table laden with food. "Grandma, we can't possibly eat all of this." She smiled. "Who said it's just us?" Before I could react, I heard familiar voices at the door. "Grandma, we're here." She had called Leo and Noah. And with them, not surprisingly, was Chloe. The five of us sat around the table, the atmosphere heavy. Chloe tried to ingratiate herself with Grandma, but it was only after the brothers prompted her that she vaguely remembered. The granddaughter of old Mr. Lin from next door? You left when you were just a child, didn't you? I don't really recall. Chloe's face fell. After dinner, Grandma asked the brothers to walk with me to the old Chinese doctor's house down the road to pick up some medicine. Chloe immediately piped up that she wanted to go too, but Grandma stopped her. You stay here and chat with this old lady. Though reluctant, Chloe couldn't refuse. I knew Grandma was trying to create an opportunity for me to be alone with her grandsons. She didn't know that the chasm between us was already too wide to be bridged. The moment we were outside, Noah started in with his usual sarcasm. Well. Did you come running to Grandma to complain? I'm not that petty, I said evenly. I just missed her and wanted to see her. Who are you kidding? He scoffed. You're just mad at us because you refused to apologize to Chloe. I turned to glare at him. At that moment, a gust of wind blew my bangs aside, revealing the still swollen bruise on my forehead. He stopped short, a flicker of guilt in his eyes. Eva, it was wrong of me to push you this morning. But that was because you hit Chloe first. Leo reached out to check my injury, but I stepped back, avoiding his touch. His hand brushed against a strand of my hair carried by the wind. His eyes were a complicated mix of hurt and blame. Eva, we know we've neglected you lately, but you shouldn't be so unreasonable, he said. Chloe has been abroad for over a decade. She's back now with no family here. As her friends, it's our duty to take care of her. She's very simple and innocent. You shouldn't be targeting her. Targeting her? I almost laughed. When Chloe first arrived, I had tried to treat her like a sister. She called me sis to my face, but in private, she would immediately wash her hands in disgust if we accidentally touched. She once claimed she wanted a mango-flavored cake from a famous bakery. I stood in line for hours to buy it. For her, only for her to tell the brothers she was allergic to mangoes and that I had tried to harm her intentionally. Another time, she begged me to let her borrow a white dress of mine. I later saw her cutting it to shreds with scissors, then crying to the brothers, claiming I would rather destroy the dress than lend it to her. One setup after another had shown me her true colors. But in the brothers' eyes, she was still the innocent little girl from their childhood. I figured they hadn't found the gift I'd left in my room yet. No matter. They would, sooner or later. In the past, I would have rushed to explain myself when I was wronged, even though they always believed I was just making excuses. But now, their opinion of me no longer mattered. So, in the face of their accusations, I simply said, don't worry. I won't target her anymore. Of course I wouldn't. I was never going back to that home. But the brothers misunderstood. They thought I was finally giving in. Noah, whose temper flared and faded quickly, put his arm around my shoulder. In a familiar, intimate gesture. That's more like it. As long as you don't make things hard for Chloe, we'll treat you just like we used to. I subtly pushed him away, a chill creeping into my heart. So your kindness comes with conditions. Leo's tone softened as well. Eva, when we get home, we'll throw you a proper birthday party. Whatever you want, I'll buy it for you. Home? I no longer had one. On the way back from the doctor's, the wind picked up. Leo draped his jacket over my shoulders, and Noah placed his baseball cap on my head. I didn't refuse. It wasn't because I still cherished the warmth they offered. It was because our separation was imminent, and I didn't want to make a scene or arouse Grandma's suspicions. When we returned, Grandma was watching TV on the sofa, while Chloe was scrolling through her phone. Seeing us, she immediately offered a piece of fruit to Grandma. Grandma, have some fruit. Grandma ignored her and walked towards me with her cane. Eva, it must be cold outside. Go take a hot bath. Chloe's eyes, filled with undisguised jealousy, fell on the jacket and cap I was wearing. But her voice was soft and demure. Eva, can I sleep with you tonight? Before I could refuse, Grandma cut in. Eva is sleeping with me tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Chloe quickly adapted. Then I'll sleep in Eva's room by myself. In the old house, Grandma had set aside 3 adjoining rooms for us. Mine was in the middle, flanked by Leo's and Noah's. Eva's room isn't used to having outsiders, Grandma said pointedly. I've already had the maid prepare the guest room for you. Rejected again, the smile on Chloe's face finally faltered. Grandma ignored the 3 of them in the living room and led me into her bedroom. The moment the door closed, she sighed. My 2 grandsons have broken your heart, haven't they? I was trying so hard to hold back my emotions, but then she gently touched the bruise on my forehead. Silly girl. Grandma can see you've been wronged. In that moment, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I collapsed into her arms and sobbed. Later, I told her everything that had happened. She was furious. Those 2 little fools are blind. I also told her about my plan to teach in the western provinces. Grandma, you know my dream has always been to help children in need. I believe you'll support me. She opened her mouth, then sighed. I always thought you would marry either Leo or Noah. In the end, they were the ones who failed you. Grandma, I said, my own eyes swollen, I will always be your granddaughter. She smiled through her tears and took a beautiful, ornate bracelet from a deep drawer, placing it on my wrist. I was going to give this to you on your wedding day, but now is just as good. I hope our Eva will always be safe and happy. The next morning, Chloe suggested going fishing at a nearby pond. Noah readily agreed. Leo looked at me. Eva, come with us. No thanks, you guys go have fun, I declined. Chloe put on her act. If Eva isn't going, then I won't go either. Eva, we're all trying to have a good time. Why are you being so difficult? Noah said, annoyed. Eva, Leo added, it's Chloe's first time here. Don't spoil the mood. I was both amused and angry. When you set off fireworks, rode the Ferris wheel, and had picnics, you never invited me. When did my opinion suddenly become so important? Besides, I came here to spend time with Grandma. I glanced at Chloe, who was hiding in a corner, gloating. As for Chloe, having you 2 is more than enough. Chloe looked aggrieved. Leo, Noah, don't push Eva. I was just worried she'd be bored all by herself. Let's not go out. We'll stay home with her. Chloe, aren't you tired of acting? I said coldly. Noah was getting angry. Eva, Chloe is just trying to be considerate. Do you have to be so aggressive? Grandma walked over. Who said Eva is alone? She's coming into town with me today. Leo offered his arm to Grandma. Grandma, we'll come with you. Grandma shook her head. No need. Having Eva is enough. At the end of the road, Grandma was still fuming. Is this how they usually treat you? Those 2 have lard clouding their hearts. They've forgotten all the good you've done for them. She became so agitated she started to have trouble breathing. I realized she had forgotten her heart medication. I told her to wait and rushed back to the house. The pills were in her bedside table. As I was searching, Chloe burst in and grabbed my arm. Eva! How could you do this when Grandma has been so good to you? I stared at her, utterly confused. Her shout attracted Leo and Noah. Chloe? What's going on? Noah asked. Eva? Why are you back? I saw her stealing from Grandma. Chloe declared, pointing at the bracelet on my wrist. This is the proof. Noah's eyes widened in shock. That is Grandma's favorite bracelet. I saw her sneak back and rummage through Grandma's drawers. Chloe added. Eva, you've disappointed us so much. Noah yelled. Leo just stared at me. Eva, is something wrong? He asked, a hint of doubt in his voice. The evidence is right here. Chloe fanned the flames. You can't just repay their kindness with theft just because you're not a real song. If you're in trouble, you can tell us, Leo said, his voice heavy. Why would you do this? Grandma loves you so much. How heartbroken would she be if she knew? Chloe put on her benevolent act again. Eva, I'm sure you just made a mistake. put the bracelet back, and we won't tell Grandma." "Won't tell me what?" Grandma was standing in the doorway. Chloe immediately let go of me and ran to her side. "Grandma, don't blame Eva. She didn't mean to steal your bracelet." I rolled my eyes. It was a true shame she hadn't gone into acting. Grandma stomped her cane. "What nonsense are you talking about? I gave that bracelet to Eva." Chloe's face changed. "But I saw her rummaging in your cabinet. This old woman was having trouble breathing, and Eva came back to get my medicine." "What's wrong with that?" Grandma's sharp gaze fell on Chloe. "My granddaughter was getting my medicine." "What were you doing in my room?" Chloe was speechless. She looked to the brothers for help. Noah quickly stepped in. "Grandma, it's all a misunderstanding. Chloe was just worried." Leo turned to me. "Eva, why didn't you explain?" I laughed, a cold, empty sound. "You believed her without question. You took turns attacking me. Did you ever give me a chance to explain?" Leo, knowing he was in the wrong, fell silent. "You've known her for 10 years, Grandma said sternly. How could you not trust her, and instead believe an outsider?" Chloe bit her lip and started to cry. "Grandma, don't blame Leo and Noah, it's all my. If you know it's your fault, then shut up." Grandma interrupted. "You've been stirring up trouble between my grandchildren. You are no longer welcome here." Humiliated, Chloe ran out. Noah immediately chased after her. Leo started to follow but stopped at the door and looked back at me. "Eva, I'm sorry. We misunderstood you." "It's fine," I said, my voice flat. "Chloe didn't mean it," he hesitated. "I'll have her apologize to you when we get back." "No need. I wouldn't be going back anyway." "Eva, I know you've been wronged," he said earnestly. "Noah and I will make it up to you. But Chloe is new here, and if something happens—" "I understand. Go." He gave a relieved smile, said a hasty goodbye, and promised to come back for me after he found Chloe. He never came back that day, or the next. I saw Chloe's post from late last night. A selfie of her pouting, with 2 tall male figures in the background. The caption read, "As long as you're by my side, it doesn't matter if I'm wronged." I let out a cold laugh and blocked all of them. After lunch, Grandma had her driver take me to the airport. We said our tearful goodbyes, and I promised to visit during the holidays. She promised not to tell the brothers where I had gone. At the airport, I met up with my professor, and together, we boarded a plane to the western provinces. Leo's heart had been filled with a gnawing unease for 2 days. After they found Chloe in town, she refused to go back to Grandma's, saying she was too ashamed to face me. They had no choice but to drive her back to the city. They had planned to return for me that night, but Chloe was hysterical, crying and making a scene, so they stayed with her. The next day, my phone was unreachable. Grandma told him I had already left. He waited at home, a table full of my favorite dishes growing cold. Noah was a wreck, consumed with regret for his thoughtless, cruel words. Grandma's question echoed in his mind, "You've known Eva for 10 years. Don't you know what kind of person she is?" He remembered her then. The small, thin girl who was so clean yet refused to sit on their sofa for fear of dirtying it. The girl who would save her own breakfast to feed the stray cats outside the school. The girl who, when everyone else was afraid, would be the only one to help a fallen old person up. How had they forgotten the kind, gentle person she was? Chloe, however, was unconcerned. "Eva is an adult. She'll be fine. She's probably just doing this to make you worry." For the first time, Noah found her words grating. "You're an adult too, and my brother and I spent all day yesterday looking for you." Chloe immediately put on a pitiful expression. "Noah, I'm sorry, I just don't want you to worry." He didn't have the energy to comfort her. Just then, Leo's voice came from my room. "Noah, get in here." Noah ran over, excited. "Is Eva back?" But the room was empty except for Leo. "Did you touch Eva's things?" Leo asked, his voice grave. The closet was empty. Noah panicked and found a large storage box by the bed, sealed with a combination lock. The code was one only the three of them knew. With trembling hands, Leo entered the numbers. The box opened. Inside, pristine and neatly arranged, was every single gift they had ever given me over the past 10 years. A terrible premonition seized Leo. At the very bottom, he found a USB drive. He plugged it into his laptop. It contained several video files, all recorded by a hidden camera in this very room. He clicked on the first one. On the screen, Chloe threw a shredded dress at me. "I would never wear something you've worn. It's disgusting. You're not worthy." My voice was angry. "If you didn't like it, why did you borrow it? Why did you destroy it?" Chloe's voice was triumphant. "I just wanted to see who Leo and Noah would believe. And I won." Leo's hand trembled as he clicked the next video. "You're not a song. You should be grateful they let you stay here as a maid. If you don't serve me well, I have plenty of ways to make Leo and Noah kick you out." He clicked the last video, dated the morning I left. "You should be grateful your mother died, shouldn't you? Otherwise, how would you have ever had the chance to live such a good life?" The video showed my slap, followed by the brothers rushing in, one protecting the perpetrator, the other shoving me to the ground. The screen went black. Noah slapped himself hard across the face and turned to go after Chloe, but Leo stopped him. His own face was a mask of cold fury. The girl they had cherished, bullied and insulted by a viper, and they had blindly joined in. He made a call to a friend abroad. The truth about Chloe was horrifying. She was a notorious bully, had spent time in juvenile detention, and had been partying with boys while her grandfather was dying. After squandering her inheritance, she had been kept by a rich man, whom she later assaulted and robbed before fleeing back to the city. Unaware that she had been exposed, Chloe was still playing the part of the understanding friend. "Eva is probably just jealous. You know how girls are." "You're right," Noah said, his voice dangerously calm. "Let's go out and have some fun right now." They drove her to a desolate, remote area and left her there. Not long after, her jilted lover found her. Her fate was of no concern to them. All they wanted was to find me, apologize, and beg me to come home. 2 months later, I had settled into my new life. The work was hard, but fulfilling. The brothers, according to Grandma, were going crazy looking for me. I knew I couldn't hide forever. Sooner or later, I would have to face them. I had planned to do it over the winter holidays, but they found me sooner than I expected. One afternoon, my professor and I were carrying buckets of water back to the dormitory when I saw them. Leo looked exhausted, but his eyes lit up with joy. "Eva, we finally found you." There was no escape. I asked my professor to go on ahead. As he left, he called out, "Remember, we're having dinner at Auntie Zhao's tonight." "Who is he?" Noah demanded. "What's your relationship with him?" "How did you find me?" I asked, ignoring his question. "We saw the package you sent to Grandma," Leo said. I had sent her some local herbs that were said to be good for her condition. "Eva, we were wrong," Noah pleaded. "Punish us however you want, just come home with us. The conditions here are terrible." He glanced in the direction my professor had gone. "Did you leave because of him?" "Noah," I sighed. "You see me walking with another man and you get this angry? Do you have any idea what the last 6 months have been like for me?" Shame and remorse flooded his face. "Eva, it's all our fault," Leo said, his voice hoarse. "We trusted the wrong person. We've cut ties with Chloe. Can you forgive us? You saw what I left behind, right?" The brothers nodded. "You only believed me because you saw the videos. But before that, no matter how I explained, you only believed her." Noah couldn't find the words. "Just come back with us," Leo said. "You can punish us however you want later." I shook my head. "I love my work here. I'm not leaving." "How can you live here?" Noah cried. "It's so poor and harsh. We can't let you suffer here." "The conditions are hard," I admitted, "but the children here need me. The school needs me. The people here are kind and warm. It's like a big family. I like it here. To help those in need, this is my dream. This time, I would not give up my dream for anyone. They stayed for a week, trying every day to convince me to leave, but I wouldn't budge. They finally left when Noah developed a severe skin allergy from the dry climate, but they continued to fly in every weekend. When winter break arrived, I booked a flight home to spend the new year with Grandma. As expected, they were both at the airport. I knew they had ways of tracking my movements. That New Year's Eve, we made dumplings together, just like we used to. After dinner, we watched the fireworks in the yard. I remembered my 18th birthday, when they had filled the entire city sky with fireworks for me. I had truly believed we would be together forever. As the New Year bell chimed, we all made a wish. As we were heading inside, I saw a shadowy figure lurking by the gate. I told the brothers to take Grandma inside while I went to check. Huddled in the darkness was a trembling, disheveled woman. It was Chloe. She lunged at me, screaming, "Why should you have such a good life? Everything you have should be mine." From what Noah had told me, she had suffered a great deal. Her face was contorted with rage. "Eva. This is your fault. Otherwise, why would Leo and Noah abandon me?" "Chloe," I said, pitying her, "life isn't just about competition and schemes. You can only find happiness by being honest and having a clear conscience." She shoved me hard against the iron gate. The loud clang shattered the night's silence. "Who do you think you are? A lowly maid's daughter, lecturing me?" I turned to walk away, ignoring her curses. A short distance away, Leo was rushing towards me, alerted by the noise. His eyes were soft and deep. "You were gone so long, I was worried something had happened." Just as I was about to tell him about Chloe, his eyes widened in alarm. He yanked me towards him, spinning me around and pulling me into a tight embrace. I heard the sound of flesh tearing. I looked back in horror. Chloe stood behind us, her eyes wide, her hand trembling in the air. A sharp dagger was buried in Leo's back. He slowly sank to his knees in front of me. "Leo, you protected her." "Why? Why?" she shrieked hysterically. He didn't even look at her. His gaze was fixed on me, his voice a faint whisper. "The house, it's back to how it was. We took down the swing, built a new flower trellis, just waiting for you to pick out your favorite seeds in the spring." He managed a pale smile. "Eva, go chase your dream. We support you. But remember, this is your home. I, and Noah, will always." His eyes closed before he could finish. When Noah came downstairs, he found me holding a bleeding Leo, sobbing uncontrollably. He flew into a rage, grabbing a fleeing Chloe and smashing her head against the stone ground. I finally came to my senses and stopped him. After a long night of surgery, the doctors managed to save Leo. Chloe was arrested for attempted murder. Noah was detained for 10 days for excessive force. I stayed at the hospital, watching Leo slowly recover. When the holidays ended, he was finally discharged. The injury to his lung was severe. He would never be able to play basketball, his greatest passion, again. The responsibility of the family company now fell on the once playful Noah. But everyone was safe. That was all that mattered. I returned to my life in the West. The sun rose, casting a warm golden light on the patch of overturned earth in the Song family's yard. I remembered being 16, planting flower seeds there, full of hope for the spring. I remembered a 17-year-old Leo and Noah playfully dabbing dirt on my nose. 3 teenagers chasing each other, laughing without a care in the world. A faint smile touched my lips, but a tear traced a path down my cheek. That beautiful summer was gone, and it would never return.